President Trump has said that US and Iran will hold direct talks later this week, Ami. Where are these negotiations for a new nuclear deal? Is Iran hopeful of getting one? Because if they don't come to the negotiating table, things could get ugly with what Israel and America have been talking about.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. And of course, he talked about that while Netanyahu was sitting next to him. And Netanyahu, unlike Zelensky, certainly didn't make the mistake of pushing back against President Trump, certainly not there in public. But I think there are a number of very significant differences between what these talks might look like and the talks that Obama had before. First of all, I'll give you a quick story that when the negotiations with Obama were being done with the Iranians, I was in Vienna during those talks. And first of all, I want to let you know that the US and Iranian negotiators were at the most expensive hotel in Vienna that cost over $1,000 a night. I thought that was kind of interesting as taxpayer dollars. I stayed at the Marriott across the street that was less than 1/3 of that price, but they chose not to stay there with me. And I spent a weekend speaking with the Iranian and US nuclear negotiators, and over drinks with the US negotiators, I found it fascinating, and this is kind of the crux of the problem here, is that they were in la-la land. When we were having a frank talk about Iran pursuing a nuclear weapon, they looked at me and they said, "We're experts in this. You're a no one, and we don't know that Iran has made a decision to pursue a nuclear weapon. How do you know that?" I was looking at them saying, "Is the sky blue? Are you really that out of it that you're negotiating with the Iranians and you're not even sure they're pursuing a weapon?" That's first of all. Second of all, so I trust the U.S. Trump negotiators, certainly way more than the Obama negotiators. These are the same people who brought to you the Abraham Accords. So they have a track record of success. But also, I think that this negotiation is also giving a certain amount of cover that if negotiations don't end well, that I believe there's a credible threat of violence. And that may come from the United States attacking Iran, but rather giving Israel the green light to do so. Having said, we negotiated. We went to the table with good faith. They rejected it. So I think that's also part of the play here. I'll also note that Netanyahu is the second time he sat in the Oval Office with the president who announced negotiations with the Iranians. This time, he was told in advance of this from the beginning, before they began, as part of the process, a silent partner, if you will, as opposed to 2013, when he sat there and Obama announced it, totally blindsiding Netanyahu, which only found out then that they had 5 months of secret negotiations without Israeli input. So these are two very, very different things. I certainly trust the Trump team way more than Biden or Obama on negotiating with the Iranians.
Well, one thing you can say about the Trump team, they're not going into these negotiations being dangerously naive. And the Obama team, from what you've said and what others have observed, they were just completely played, Ami. They were completely played, and it shows. They gave Iran a very, very advantageous deal. And we know Iran is the chief sponsor of Hamas, Hezbollah, all sorts of mayhem caused because of the Iranian regime beyond Iran's borders. Ami Horowitz, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for your time tonight.